everybody, and welcome to day 7. It is day 7 of the Creative Pep Talk. My name is Alecia Renece, and today we're going to be talking about finishing things well. So I just got finished working on a song. Halfway through it, I wanted to give up. I thought it was trash. It was really hard. It was really hard to get across the notes I was trying to get across, and I had taken a break from making music and I'm just getting back into it, and it was just really discouraging. And I wanted to give up. And I felt like I was within all my rights to give up because no one knows what I'm doing. No one really cares. No one's really watching me or asking me to meet a deadline, right? But I have recently committed to finishing things to the end. Now, if you're anything like me, you might suffer from shiny object syndrome or maybe even shiny idea syndrome, that would translate into what I'm trying to say. I am very easily inspired. I can come up with ideas like this. Like, I have a notebook full of ideas and projects I want to pursue. I love to dream. I love to plan. I have a really good mind for that, right? But then the issue arises when it's actually time to carry out what I'm supposed to be doing. I struggle with completing things. I struggle with being consistent. I struggle with being disciplined, as I mentioned before. I am in no way perfect model of what it means to be a disciplined person. I'm still learning, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. I want to encourage you to finish things well. Finish things well, even if no one's going to see it, even if no one will ever hear it or read it or whatever. If it never sees the light of day, you still need to finish things well. And there's a few reasons why. One, it proves to you that you can actually finish something. When I start a new project, I'm really discouraged. I'm like, oh, I suck, like whatever. Like, there's no proof that I'm capable of doing something. When I actually finish my projects, when I hit those rough patches, when I hit those rough spots, I'm more inclined to finish because I know I've done this before. But if I just have a trail of projects behind me that aren't done, aren't completed, and just are staring at me like, okay, you said you were going to finish me. When are you going to finish me? It's going to be discouraging. It's going to be disheartening because it's going to make me feel like a failure. 2, I also feel like God wants us to be good stewards over what he gives us, even if they're small, and even, again, if they never see the light of day. As dreamers, we see where we are and where we want to be, and we want to be where we want to be right now, right? But if we can't handle the small things, the small projects, the small words we give our friends to say that we're going to do something and we don't follow through, if we don't follow through with what we say we're going to do to ourselves, to our family, to our art, how do we expect God to really give us what we can't handle? Because at the end of the day, you won't be able to handle it. It'll be too much, because you're always used to giving up and quitting. And trust me, I'm saying this to myself. So this is why in this season, I have taken the opportunity, committed to actually seeing things through, even if they suck, even if it's hard, even if I grow bored with it, and that's really hard as a creative to stay super pepped up and and inspired by your craft, because while you might be inspired on the onset, doing the work, it becomes laborious, and then it becomes like a task. It becomes a job, and it's really easy to fall away and just put it on the shelf like all the rest of your projects. So I just wanted to encourage you today to finish things well. You'll feel good about it. God will feel good about it. We like to measure what's a big deal and what's a small deal. And I think everything that God gives us to do is a big deal, even if we consider it small, because we're only just comparing it to what someone else is doing anyway. And so I was really convicted last year, towards the latter part of the year. My theme was finish well, because I had a lot of projects I had not completed. A lot of things I said I was going to do, I didn't do. And at the end of the day, I felt really, really good about doing it. And what I should consider is that what I'm not putting out, what I'm not finishing, is also affecting someone who's waiting for me to finish what I'm finishing. If I am just like, oh, whatever, it's fine, it's just another project I don't finish, that's someone else who doesn't hear my art, who doesn't see the painting or the book, or, hear the music or create the invention or whatever you do. Whatever you're holding back is what someone else is lacking. You're here for a reason. God gave that idea to you for a reason. Pursue it. Do well by it. Honor those gifts. Honor the time. Honor the commitment. And build that muscle for discipline. Like we talked about discipline before, how it's not about how you feel. It's not about inspiration. It's not about, you know, whether it's fun or not. It's about doing it because it has to get done. And in the same way, I hope that you take your craft, your life, your business, your job. If you work a 9 to 5, I hope you take it seriously and do what you say you're going to do. Show up 100%. Finish things well. Don't just like, oh, I just BS the whole thing. No, do it well. Be diligent. Be responsible. Be responsible for the gift that was given to you, you know, for the assignment. And again, I'm saying this to you as I'm saying it to myself, because there are some days I just don't feel like it. Like even with this video, you know, it can be really hard to cut out time and be like, okay, let me say something. I don't feel like saying it. I don't feel like editing it. I don't feel like whatever. Like there's a bunch of excuses I can come up with, but it's about what I committed to. And I want to be a woman of my word. I want to be trustworthy. I want God to trust me with the things that like I'm asking him for, that he wants to give me. And he just waiting for me to be like, okay, I just need you to show up. I just need you to show up every day. So again, be diligent, do well with the gifts that you're given. You know, just show up. Just show up and try, you know, try your best. It doesn't have to be perfect, flawless. That's not what I'm saying. Just give it your best try. And sometimes your best try isn't going to be, you know, the bee's knees. It's going to be, you know, what you would consider garbage or whatever. But the fact that you showed up and did it puts in the time. It doesn't go unseen or unnoticed. And you don't go unnoticed to yourself, you know? So today's encouragement is just to finish things well. Plan things out, take things one day at a time, write it down, you know? Like I said, I have a notebook full of ideas because I can't do everything at one time. I can't do everything right now. But while I'm working on one project, I have a notebook full to go through. So when I'm finished this project or when the project is underway, I can move on to the next thing and not just have a bunch of unfinished things behind me. So that's today's encouragement. I hope that you are inspired to commit to things, recommit to things, and just plow through it and do the thing. So thanks for tuning in for day 7. I look forward to talking to y'all in day 8. And until then, keep creating, and I hope that you're doing well. Okay, bye.